So we've all done it, right? We've all fell victim to shoe marketing hype. It doesn't matter if you're a podiatrist like me that looks at shoes and people's feet and the carnage that can happen with a bad shoe on your foot all day, every day, or if you're someone that doesn't know the difference between a Nike and Adidas. It doesn't matter. We've all fell for it, and a lot of us have paid the price for it. And that's why in this video, I'm gonna give you 5 of the most popular shoes to avoid and what shoes to replace them with to help your feet out all day, every day. Let's get into it. This video is also gonna cover pretty much all daily driver shoes. That means shoes you would go to the gym in, walk in, run in, just everyday training, everyday walking, everyday casual type shoe. I will do very specific categories like tennis and basketball. That'll be over on the Shoe Garage channel, and that'll be sometime this week or next week. All right, to put my money where my mouth is, the first shoe on this list is one that got me. And I even said it in my review of the Nike Pegasus Premium that I think they'll be good casual shoes. I don't know about running shoes. They might be a little bit too unstable, a little bit too soft. And man, they still got me. Unfortunately, Nike did send me these as a gift in the new year, their affiliate site. Because I get, send a lot of clicks to Nike. And it was a very nice gift. And I thought, well, let me try them. I'll try them out casually. I'll put my money where my mouth is, right? And wearing them casually, they were okay. It's about 2.5 months I've had them on. And I did start to notice that they were getting a little bit more wobbly, and I'm looking in the back and I'm like, well, they don't look that bad. I mean, the Zoom X is starting to crease, but Zoom X just looks like that it creases a lot, right? They don't look terrible, right? There's not a lot of deformity in the back. And then in the winter, my wife and I walk at lunchtime every day, usually about 1.5 miles, and in the wintertime a little bit less. And I'm like, well, I'm not walking all that much, right? Let me just put them on, let's see how they go. And did I start getting this hip flexor pain? And I could feel the shoe wobbling underneath me, and I'm walking, I'm trying to stabilize. And I don't wear orthotics in shoes that I test, right? I have them in my everyday shoes, but not ones that I'm testing. So I didn't put them in here. And although I do think an orthotic with a better plastic shell on these things would help stabilize the shoe, to me, it's the interaction of the Reactex and the air that is full length that causes these to wobble so much. I had a patient who had really bad heel bursitis too, and I thought that this would be nice and soft for them, so I put a hole in heel orthotic and these, and I was like, okay, they'll be good. And then what she told me, this was before I had them on, I'm like, okay, because she was just like kind of going, she wasn't doing anything crazy in them. And even she said, like, my legs are just tired in them all the time still. And so it just, to me, yeah, they look cool and they are incredibly comfortable directly on foot. But as soon as I took these off and put these other shoes on, I was just fine. It went away almost like that. So the shoes I'd replace these with, now put it this way, if you want to get a Nike with Zoom X and Air, get the Vomero Premium. These things are out of this world. They don't have nearly the issues that these do, because unlike the Pegasus Premium, the Vomero Premium has 2 Zoom pods, right? They're more caged. So these actually keep the shoe much more stable. The interaction of the ground reactive forces, right? The shock that's going up the shoe, the foam in the air is just much more regular in these. A lot more width in the rear foot, much better for a casual shoe, walking shoe, daily trainer, things like that. The other shoes though that I think, if you're looking for the profile of this, obviously just the Pegasus, right? Would be a lot better. Or the one that I think is probably the best replacement is the Asics Gel Cumulus 27. It's a very similar riding shoe. It's got the most comfortable foam right now to me on the market right now for a casual shoe, daily trainer, walker, whatever, gym shoe, whatever. But just a little bit more width in the rear foot, much more stability in the foam. The foam to form is more uniform. Just all around, put it this way, you've got a ton of choices to replace these with. To me, this is cool if you just want to show off here or there. Like I said, you're not doing a lot of walking. You just want something very, very soft and comfortable underfoot. Or, like I said, go with one of these. All right, the next shoe on this list, ironically, somebody just rolled in today with these on foot in the office. And that shoe is Hey Dudes. Now, I have no problem with Hey Dudes, and honestly, the concept is fine. Just a comfortable, easy to break in house shoe, right? Basically house slipper. The problem is that number one, they retail at over $60. Like they're not cheap, right? And for what they are, a no lockdown slip-on shoe, I think a lot of people conflate that with, well, I can just wear them all day, every day, and whereas the support on them is basically nil. And so all the issues like tendonitis, arch pain, stress fractures, things like that can come about when you're wearing shoes with absolutely zero support and all that shearing right in the shoe, because they don't lock down. Now, if you're, like I said, if you're wearing them for a house shoe or a slipper around the house and you just like them, go for it. Now, there's really nothing wrong with that. It's just, when you see someone at Disney wearing them or someone walking around the track with them or something, right? It's just, they're a very, very low support, very, very low lockdown shoe that you just have to make sure you're using for the right reasons, like I said, which is hanging out on the couch. And so if you're looking for something to replace them with, well, either number one, just replace your expectations of them. If you like them, just wear them around the house. Just don't wear them out for extended walking, right? That's number one. But if you're gonna replace the Hey Dude with an actual shoe, to me, the best one that I've found is the Under Armour SlipSpeed, which has a heel counter that is meant to be pushed down if you want to use it as a slip-on, or can be pulled back up if you want to use it as a regular shoe. Unlike Hey Dudes, where like it seems like that heel counter comes like pre-crushed. When people come into the office, they're always crushing that heel counter down. Which, remember, every time you push down a heel counter that's not supposed to be pushed down, every time you crush down one of these, it is diminishing the structural support of the shoe. So if you want to do that, this is a great way to do it, because this heel counter is meant for that. It also has an extra deep heel, so you sit into there even if you do. Or you can replace them with Crocs, which actually you can move it out of the way if you just want to slip into them or not. And this is made of like the same dense Crocs light foam. It is really, really supportive. So like I said, either manage your expectations, replace your expectations, or one of these two, great choice. Now this next shoe has so many people in a stranglehold, kind of like the Hey Dudes have the Suburban Dad in a stranglehold. So I've got a lot of options if you want to keep using them. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But that shoe would be the On Cloud. Now it's not every On shoe, but mainly the On Clouds with the very, very dense, really, really small Cloud Tech pods. The problem with On is a lot of the shoes, they look like they're gonna be nice and low profile, and those Cloud Tech pods right on the outside are going to compress really nicely and give you shock absorption. The problem with a lot of Ons is that the speed board, which is this plastic plate, is right under your foot. So that's what your foot is standing on. It's not standing on these, right? And then when you get some that are soft enough, what ends up happening when there's no speed board and they're soft enough, what ends up happening is whatever foot deformity you have gets transferred into the shoe, because there's no real structural support in the shoe. And so if you really over-supinate like crazy, the shoe is gonna over-supinate like crazy. If you over-pronate like crazy, you guessed it, the shoe is gonna over-pronate like crazy. Next time you're at an amusement park or Disney, whatever, and you're watching people in Ons, look at a lot of them. They are just whoop, whoop, like that. Now, not every On is like this. So if you wanna replace an On, go with the Cloud Monster. Has a super dense layer of foam right on top of the speed board, has a super supportive speed board, but that speed board stops in the forefoot, so they bend normally, and the Cloud Tech pods are dense enough and there's enough foam around them that they compress uniformly. You can also get the Cloud Surfer as long as, or the Cloud Surfer Max, as long as you are in shoes, or as long, I'm sorry, not in shoes, as long as you're in orthotics with a shell. It has to have a plastic shell. It can't be a flexible orthotic, right? Because that's not gonna do anything for the rear foot. What you're trying to do is make the rear foot compress uniformly. The orthotic is gonna smoothen out all those little wiggles in your gait, and so the shoe is not gonna deform abnormally, it'll deform more uniformly. And so as long as you've got this in, something like I said, like the Cloud Surfer, you'll be just fine, right? Obviously not just a shell, you want something with some padding on it, right? An actual orthotic, but just, illustrate the point. So to me, I would avoid any of the, just like the generic, like the standard On Clouds, and then more, I said, go more toward the On Cloud Monsters. I know that they're more meant to be kind of in that more racing shoe or more actual running shoe category. If you're a runner, great. But even casually, I've just noticed wearing these around, these just feel really nice. They deform well. They've got good durability. So just more, if you're gonna wear Ons, wear the right pair of Ons. Your body will thank you. And the next piece of footwear, it kind of goes back to the Hey Dude stuff, but more it's adjust your expectations. And that is OOFOS, or really any really, really soft, squishy slide sandal or slip-on. Now, if you're just wearing those for a kick around, right? You're just kicking around the house, easy walking, going to the kitchen, going to the bathroom, short steps, you just want something soft underfoot, then they are just fine. You do not need to replace them. But if you are going to be doing a lot of walking in them, right? If you're gonna be doing any extended standing, right? Because if you, next time you're just standing around a lot, pay attention to your legs and feet. You will notice all this twitching going on, all the muscles, your postural muscles, keeping you stable. And when you have something super soft and squishy underfoot, those postural muscles have to act, they just have to fire a lot harder, longer. They just have to do a lot more work versus something a little more structural, which just allows you to A, recover better from if you're playing sports, or just B, just doesn't make your feet, legs, lower back, get so tired. And so if you are looking to replace these for something you can wear for more extended walking, more extended standing, and you still want kind of that nice soft feeling, but you want a little more structure. I know this sounds completely hypocritical from the first shoe on this list that had React in it, and React X in it, I should say, but the Nike React X Rejuvenate slide or slip-ons, to me, it feels enough like those other ones, super comfortable, but whatever they've cased this with, right, or whatever additives they put in the Rejuvenates, they have stayed so much more structural, so much more stable. They're just, to me, these are just much more of an easy product to recommend for more extended standing, more extended walking. These are mine that I have had for a while now, since last year. I mean, I've had these for a while, and yeah, the lugs are starting to wear down a little bit on the bottom because I've worn these a lot and I've walked in them a lot, but man, they're still doing great. They're still holding me up just fine. I'm still feeling pretty good in them. So in terms of long-term durability too, these have been good. So either the slides, I like the slip-ons more because I like the structure of the heel counter, but slides or slip-ons, to me, this is the best of both worlds in terms of that like super comfortable feeling, but also enough stability underfoot that you're not gonna make your legs and feet tired. But like I said, also, if you wanna wear something soft, squishy, things like that, slides, that's fine. Just adjust your expectations for them because there is nothing wrong with wearing them for short bouts or more for when you're kind of more sit standing. All right, and the last shoe on this list isn't an individual shoe, it is a class of shoes that most of us probably just don't need to be wearing, and that is the super shoe class of shoes. Now, of course, there are some of you out there that need a racer and need all the speed that these will provide, but most of us don't. I see people wearing these, I just did a video, I see people wearing these around the airport, I see people walking in these, I see people doing like daily trainer, just like jogging in these on like on the rails to trails type paths, which why would you ever do that? I see people in the gym lift. So most people, even a lot of runners don't need these, right? They're actually gonna cause more issues unless you can put enough energy into them, unless your gait is uniform enough, right? Like you have worked on your gait to the point where you are a super efficient distal midfoot to forefoot striker. These are gonna do more harm to you than good. So if you really, put it this way, if you really need to be in a super shoe, but maybe you're someone that can't handle like these type of racers, the New Balance Super Comp Elite they are just forgiving enough for someone like me to wear. So if you really want them, but you're looking for something a little more forgiving, these are really, really good. You can kind of get away with these, but also you can literally replace them with anything. The Vomero, the Saucony Triumph, it doesn't matter, right? Just anything that's just gonna be a little bit more forgiving on foot, not going to be as demanding for your feet. And whatever you do, do not use these as a walking shoe or just an everyday shoe. They will tear your feet up. Now, if you're a super elite racer, sure, have at it. They're the best things out there going. But for the rest of us mortals, something like this is gonna be just fine. And speaking of some of the shoes on this list, if you do wanna see what I think are the very best recovery slides and slip-ons right now in the market to help with foot pain or to avoid foot pain, make sure you click into this video right here. And if you want to see which orthotics I recommend the most in my office for people, for foot fatigue, leg fatigue, and just overall general foot pain, make sure you click into this video right here. I'll see you in the next one.